Hey guys, what's up? So, more leaks are coming out about multiplayer zombies and campaign for Black Ops 2020, and some more good news for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. And I just want to get right into it. So, first, Modern Warfare 2. So, for those of you who haven't really been following, the first real leak for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered was really last year when it appeared on the PEGI rating system. Then, sometime later, it appeared on a list made by Microsoft, and then an ex-developer explained that the game, as a whole, has been completely finished, but unless something catastrophic happens to a main title Call of Duty or something gets postponed, there's no reason to use it because they're kind of harboring it as a safety net. In the same thread of tweets, he mentioned how the time frame of Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 had great game sales, and Activision has been fighting tooth and nail trying to recreate those same game sales ever since, obviously failing pretty hard. These tweets were saved by several people, but I'm pretty sure if you go back to look at them, it will say the tweet is not available because I believe he deleted them. But this happened a few months ago. This is kind of old news, but now Modern Warfare 2 is showing up on South Korean rating lists. Similar to the PEGI list, it says Modern Warfare 2 Remastered Campaign. This is leading people to believe the game is just campaign and no multiplayer. And this idea really started before even the PEGI rating came out, when a leaker had come out about the game the year prior, stating that the last he checked, they were working on the campaign and they hadn't started working on multiplayer yet, which is completely different than saying there will be no multiplayer. Also, keep in mind, ESRB, PEGI, and other rating systems can only rate the campaign. If you look at the box of any video game, it'll say online interactions not rated. Therefore, the multiplayer will not be included in the rating system. This coming pretty short after Okami leaked tons of information regarding Warzone that turned out to be 100% true, and also said that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered will be coming out this year. He has proven himself to be a valid source, and he says it will come out before the next main title, Call of Duty, so I'm excited about that. And if you're wondering who was in charge of remastering Modern Warfare 2, it's a pretty safe bet to say that it was Raven Software, considering they remastered COD 4 back in 2016. Also, replying to a Gaming Revolution tweet, this guy, the Gamer King 429, stated that Raven Software were the ones who remastered the game, just letting him know. And if you look at his profile on Twitter, you'll see that he is a QA tester for a project, and that he lists two others who are other members testing on that project, and he shows a face with, a zipped mouth, trying to keep quiet. All he posts is stuff about Call of Duty. He's a huge Call of Duty fanboy. I can only guess that he's a tester for some type of COD, possibly Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I'm going to keep an eye on this guy. But anyways, moving on. Now, being brief, I'm not going to go as detailed on this as I have in previous videos. All of you should be caught up by now, but Sledgehammer had a Cold War project. Stuff happened, Treyarch took over, and is turning it into a Black Ops reboot, but they only had a year to do so. That's the gist of what's going on. So testers who are leaking information basically have said that the multiplayer mechanically is fun. It feels good, the maps feel good, they just don't look good right now, which makes sense. They're going to be focusing on mechanics primarily, and then they will work on making it look pretty down the road. They are not going to be able to waste time with a whole lot of extra needless things like, let's say, microtransactions right now, as they would in the past few years. They might reintroduce some microtransactions so they don't have to create anything new. Microtransactions like calling cards and stuff from previous Black Ops games. But most of their focus, time, and energy is going to be driven towards the core game mechanics and the look of the gameplay itself. Now, one thing that apparently is still in the game right now is the stim shots for health regen. This is sounding more and more like a leftover feature from the previous Black Ops. I don't think it's going to be in Black Ops 2020. A stim shot just doesn't fit a Vietnam theme. And we've seen stuff left over from previous games before appear in early days of testing and alphas and even betas of other Call of Duties. So I wouldn't expect to see that in the complete game. It also wouldn't make sense to copy any mechanical characteristics found specifically in one of the worst selling Call of Duties of all time. Also, they apparently are going to be working off of the same graphics engine that was used in Modern Warfare, which is good because I know a lot of people noticed the plasticky look of the characters in Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3. The hair on some of the characters and zombies, when the light hit it just right, looked like it was off of a Ken doll or a Barbie doll. So this is definitely some good news, but don't freak out if you don't like the movement or the feel of Modern Warfare, because the graphics engine is not necessarily the same as the engine that controls game mechanics. There's a good chance the game will feel and play a lot different. Now, the game is 100% a Vietnam shooter with black operations, but it's going to be more dramatic. It's going to focus a lot more heavily on the Vietnam War specifically than the original Black Ops did. Frank Woods and Mason are back, but they will be played by different actors. And there will be an interrogation scene in the game, but it's probably not going to be the vehicle from which the story is told, like in Black Ops 1. It's just going to be a really shocking, gruesome scene that is in the game. Now, the setting and perspective of the storytelling could change before launch, but that's just where they're sitting right now. Now, let's move on to zombies. Weirdly enough, a bit of information that I thought was BS, but more and more people are talking about this, is a standalone transit game. Now, the Gaming Revolution leaker said it would be its own disc, but it sounds to me like it's just going to be connected with a bunch of other zombie maps in a Chronicles Part 2. But it's funny he said it would be on its own disc because we were supposed to get a separate zombies game on disc near the end of Black Ops 1's COD season back in the day, but we never got it. But anyways, Black Ops 4 was supposed to have the Black Ops 2 zombie storyline maps, including Buried, but they didn't do it. Black Ops 4 Remastered a few maps, but that was it. Jason Blundell even verbally hinted about Zombies Chronicles Part 2 happening with Black Ops 4, but Zombies didn't do too good in Black Ops 4, and Black Ops 4 as a whole didn't do too well. And then halfway through Black Ops 4's Call of Duty season, Treyarch got picked up to create Black Ops Reboot, with only a year to do so. So that project kind of got pieced up, and a lot of it didn't come out. So it's looking like Transit, among other maps, will probably come out on its own separate bundle when Black Ops Reboot comes out, which to me sounds awesome. But as for a main zombie storyline that's going to be happening in Black Ops Reboot, there isn't really that much info on the Zombies Ether reboot. Just that the testers right now are working with a few zombie maps, and apparently there's a lot more to do in them. The gameplay in them is a lot more dynamic. There's a lot going on. They're saying that it is kind of trying to go back to the more creepy, eerie feel and get away from the direction they were going with the previous Black Ops games, as in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. But to me, this is kind of worrisome, because Treyarch is really good at trying to do too much and put their foot in their mouth. I just went back and played World at War, and I played Nocturne and Toten, and regardless of how the graphics look compared to the graphics nowadays, it is still a terrifying zombies experience. Every map, down to Darius and World at War, had that feel, that eerie feel that you can never recreate in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, or whatever. Black Ops 1 did a pretty good job. It's a different type of feel, but it's still just as eerie. And that's what they need to try to capture. That's what they need to get back to. But the thing is, there was also this simplicity with World at War and Black Ops 1 that is completely lost now. And I think if they try too hard, they are going to lose that feel straight from the get-go, and this reboot Zombies that's supposed to bring new life to Nazi zombies is going to be dead on arrival. But we all have to see. We'll have to wait. But now, I know you guys saw that there was a leak to the Game Revolution about a song called Russians by Sting, and it is a song about the Cold War. It's a very dramatic song, but I don't think it's going to be in the campaign, because the campaign takes place in the 60s primarily, and the song came out in the 80s, but it is a perfect song for a dramatic cinematic trailer. And considering the trailer for Black Ops Reboot's campaign will be coming out sometime next month, I believe, it makes sense why his leaker was kind of teasing this. I think this song is going to be in the trailer for Black Ops 1 Reboot. It would make sense. It would play perfectly into the dramatic feel of Vietnam shooter story, give kind of an extreme melancholy you felt watching the Call of Duty Ghost campaign trailer, for instance. It's just going to be a drama based around a conflict that felt hopeless and pointless. But as for the overall confidence I have in this game being good, I would say my perception has changed a little bit over the past couple of weeks, hearing what's come out about the game. And the phone call with investors, they did state that they don't expect to see as big of an outcome as they did with Modern Warfare this past year, but they said they are getting a lot of hype and a lot of reactions from the playtesters. They're really excited about this title, which kind of reminds me of the same excitement they reported on the Infinity Ward dev team feeling with their playtesters and their developers when they were making Modern Warfare, knowing that they were working on a classic COD series again. And I think this is good, because Modern Warfare sold pretty good. I think they're at 23 million units sold last time I checked. And the two best-selling Call of Duties of all time were Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 1, and they sold around 30 million. And I think if they put all of their focus into the core game and its maps, and they worry about microtransactions way later down the road, this game will be epic when it comes out. I think the limited time and the time crunch work they got to do to make this happen in a year will be good for them. It'll be good for the game. It will definitely make it harder for them to overcomplicate the game given such short time to make it happen. So I'm pretty optimistic at this point. Please comment down below your thoughts on all of this. What are you excited for? What you hope to see? What you hope not to see? Do you want a Black Ops reboot rather than just a Black Ops remaster? The community has been pretty silent lately, and I'm a little confused, so I just want some clarification from you guys. So please be sure to comment down below. Keep the conversation going. Please like, subscribe, and share if you can, and I will catch you guys next time.